Welcome into the booth. I'm Joel Klatt. What a huge victory for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish here as the underdog. They come in and they beat the Wisconsin Badgers, and they do it in the face of a lot of adversity. Let's just start with the fact that when you're down to your third left tackle and in the fourth quarter when you got to go to your third string quarterback, basically late third quarter, in a 10-10 game, probably shouldn't win that game, but they did. They found a way, and they did so because that quarterback, Drew Pine, came in and played really well. Accurate with the ball. He didn't panic. He was calm. He did everything he needed to do to execute and operate that offense, and then the defense just flat took over. I think that Marcus Freeman and his defense really took hold. They gelled. It finally clicked for them. It was a struggle against Florida State in the first week of the season. It was a bit of a struggle against Toledo. They started to play better against Purdue. And then here today, they were sensational. They were great against the run, gave up less than 100 yards to Wisconsin against the run, and then they forced all those turnovers. That's exactly what Brian Kelly wanted out of Marcus Freeman. If I'm a Notre Dame fan, listen, you Irish fans out there, be excited about this team and its future. Now, I don't know if this team particular this year is going to go to the playoff, but I will tell you they're going to compete in every single game, and it's going to be very difficult for any offense to score a lot of points against that group. I think that their offense, speaking of Notre Dame's, will just continue to get better. I get it. They didn't run the ball well today. They were never going to run the ball well because Wisconsin's defense, in particular their front seven, is as good as any out there. So it was going to be a throwing game. It was going to be a huge passing game. They threw almost 40 times today between Pine and Jack Cohn, and then they were able to get the win. They mixed in some run when they needed to, but they got the win because that defense was suffocating. They could not run the football, speaking of Wisconsin, and because of that, Mertz had no play-action pass. He forced the ball, and then ultimately they got the turnovers that they needed. The turnovers were huge, blew the game totally open in the fourth quarter. I believe 4 turnovers just in the fourth quarter alone. That's exactly why Marcus Freeman is here as the defensive coordinator for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So Brian Kelly gets his 106th win. What a moment for Brian Kelly and this program. This era of Notre Dame football is as successful as any era that they've had in the past, save for a national championship here or there. He's been to a BCS national championship, been to 2 playoff appearances, and now he's the all-time winningest coach in the school's history. We're talking about Notre Dame, folks. This is one of the most storied, if not the most storied program in our sports history. And now Brian Kelly has 106 wins. That's passing Knute Rockne from 90 years ago. That's some special stuff.